to those. Anyway, there are a few people who actually choose to serve in some way. I mean, they do serve, they take care of their families. I mean, special service where you go outside your family and friends and work for some cause. Does that make sense?
I know where you're getting at. Yeah, I think it's very important, especially if you're young, if you start doing it. Yeah.
It's also amazing you're so young. I mean, that's better, I think, but it's it's like most young people don't have time to seek a spiritual activity. Does that
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I wish there would be more people like who are younger who are pursuing spiritual studies. Yeah.
when you find those, I hope you find anyway, I hope you find a circle of young friends like that. Uh, my young friends were drinkers. They go out and go out to the bars and everything. So I guess that's
It's
common.
not much different today.
Is it the same now?
Yeah, maybe even a bit worse. I don't know.
It probably is worse.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
that's cool. Um, did you have any topic you'd like to discuss or issue or I throw
I don't
something
know.
else?
Mm, I'm just glad that I'm here among other faithists who share my faith. And yeah, I
Uh,
mean, maybe we could talk about things which is only familiar to good, like to interested Oahspe students, maybe. I don't
mhm,
know, like very complex topics.
mhm. Okay, I had a couple ideas, but your idea is different than what I was thinking of, and I think it's a good thought, so I think I want to go with that. Um, a lot of topics we've already discussed, I think, so it makes it tough to come up with something. But well, okay, I'll go with my original thought. You know, we pray. I believe the power of the mind and the creator are one, if you can realize that. And to best do that, you try to connect with some kind of activity, whether it's spiritual or physical or communicative, that helps people. So that way you can be, in that way you are becoming constitutionalized in your oneness with the creator. Whenever you have your spiritual inner life expressed in a way that reaches out to other people and helps them in some way.
Yeah,
And I maybe that's the issue I want to talk about is how to bring the inner. You can do your readings, you can meditate. I think you can, but how can you bring it outward?
yeah,
I'm trying and to work with other people in that sense, especially Oahspe, because uh, it's a tough calling, don't you think?
yeah. That's a very interesting topic and also a very controversial topic because the key factor which is mentioned in Oahspe is selflessness.
Mm,
But I think that there are two types of selflessness,
mm.
and there are sometimes like the meanings are switched up. I think. I
Oh, say
mean,
that. Please say that again. The
I
meeting's
think
what?
that the meaning of selflessness is most of the time
Meaning.
misunderstood because the thing is, um, selflessness is like the currency of the heavens. The more selfless you are, the higher you can evolve, the higher you can rise. And the thing is that I think that there are two types of selflessness. The one which most humans associate it with, and then true selflessness. The thing is, most
Sorry,
people think
I'm sorry, Elijah, can you say that one more time? I think it's important. What was that?
I think there are two types of selflessness.
Yes.
The one type of selflessness is the kind of selflessness which most of humans like associate it with, like what they think selflessness is. But I think that selflessness is something beyond like the common definition of selflessness. The thing is, if most people hear the word selflessness, they think that someone sacrifices his own needs and his own well-being for others. But the thing is, that definition of selflessness makes it easy to create servant master situations, and relationships, because some people think that they have to be like a servant in order, and they have to treat others like masters in order to do good, but at the expense of their own health. And I don't think that that is what is meant with selflessness, because selflessness, I think, has to go hand in hand with self-love, if you know what I mean. Because in Radiance, the angels talk about love, how love is the source of all things. And in Oahspe, there's also the verse where Ahura, the reformed Ahura, says to God, I think, that he has learned to love everything around him, and his love grows. At first, he loved, I think, 100 people, then 1,000 people, and so on. Do you remember that verse in Oahspe?
I don't remember it exactly, but I remember the feeling and the inspiration I got when Ahura, right? Ahura finally saw the light, and he became very powerful. And beyond his imagination, he had finally he made a big struggle to he felt ashamed of himself when he saw, I think Fragapati was like rescuing a hell or not of some kind, and Fragapati advised Ahura to and his citizens to help with these poor souls, and he was ashamed at first, and then he finally, through some great moment of breakthrough of prayer or determination, he finally conquered his self, and he crystallized, if that's the right word. And all of a sudden, the inner light of the Creator shone through him, and he said he became almost mad with the delight of and with love, the feeling of love for other people, and the will to want to help them.
Yeah, that's the story of Ahura. Yes.
Yeah, it was very inspiring. I really liked your point about the selflessness being like the coin, the currency of the upper heavens. It's the only thing that matters, the only thing that's valuable, really.
But I think there's more to it, if you know what I mean. I think that's still not the complete truth about selflessness. I mean, selflessness is like it's mentioned, like the goal of selflessness is to become one with the Creator. Because Ethereans, all of them, in order to become an Etherean, a bride or bridegroom of the Creator, you have to become one with the Creator. That's like the condition for being allowed to go to Etheria. And I think selflessness might mean something else. The thing is, humans have two roles. A human is an individual, but he's also a part of a collective, like of a group. You know what I mean? Like he is a representative of a group, of humanity as a whole also. And I think selflessness is the realization that you're more than just an individual, and that you somehow are able to manipulate the whole, like the realm of possibilities through your action so that it serves for the betterment of all. You know what I mean?
I do.
I think selflessness has to do also with enlightenment, with precision, and with skill, intelligence. I think I think selflessness is not the lack of something, as most people think, the lack of self-respect,
Yeah.
the lack of time. No, I think selflessness is a surplus.
Is
Do you know what I mean?
say that
A
last word again?
surplus,
What?
a
So
surplus, or
okay,
a surplus, however you
surplus.
pronounce it.
It's a positive.
It's a positive, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's extra intelligence, extra enlightenment. It's action
Transcendent.
and not the lack of action. Yeah,
That's a great point because when I'm doing blessings on my own, I sometimes think of the word selflessness, but it doesn't seem to have any oomph to it. Like let bless me with selflessness, bless someone else with selflessness. It's like it's not positive enough. And I guess love is the positive love, universal love, angelic love is the maybe a better description of what selflessness really is.
yeah,
Because you're right. You don't want selfless to be where you're surrendering to other people, you're serving other people, you let them walk over you. That's not what it means.
yeah,
It means, and it doesn't mean helping people who don't need your help. It means somehow empowering others and empowering yourself at the same time. And it, I mean, there's ways you can do that. I think that would be an interesting thing to take up next is how to do that. But yeah, I totally get where you're coming from.
yeah, that's what I think. But I also think that what I described here is not the whole measure of true selflessness. I mean, selflessness is the key to become one with the Creator. So it has to be something great, something special. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
I
like,
think,
oh, go ahead.
but I think that's the thing with most spiritual things, that on the one hand, such conclusions are grand, but on the other hand, they are so obvious and before our eyes. The most profound truths are two things, like the most intelligent conclusions, but also the most obvious ones, which are so obvious, like the air around us,
Yeah.
that we can't perceive them at first, but they are in front of us the whole time.
Yeah, there's a passage in Radiance that says the I don't, I'm a blessing, love is my power, maybe. And the message was, yeah, sometimes they got the reaction from the readers, is that all? Isn't there something more to that? And but the response from the Elohist angels was just what you said, which is it's so simple and obvious, but you're not taking up the deeper meaning. You're not living the meaning. You're not uh, you're not going deep enough into this. You're not accepting that you're not accepting to embody those teachings through your life. So you can't just say, yeah, I know God is love, we are love. Yeah, I know that, but that's very lame, and you've got to push yourself. Well, not even that's the wrong word. You have to you have to unfold. Probably it's many things at once. You have to transcend your all limitations, and I think to get to that point, to transcend the barriers that are possibly interfering with your realization of living those ideals, is being separate. What you said earlier about being your selflessness, the whole thing, love and everything, all those spiritual ideals and paths, it really comes down to joining with others in this world and the next. And I think that's part of the purpose of this group is to connect with the angelic heavens better. We're part more of the angelic heavens, what we're doing now, I think. And what do you think?
Yeah, I think that there is so much that we still have to research about that topic. I also have, like, there is so much more to it, so
Yes.
much more to selflessness. And yeah, I will have to do my research about this.
Yeah, it takes a lot of contemplation. like I say, I've always had, I like the word selflessness, but it just seems so passive, like you're giving up your identity, your personal being or something. But, but like you, I think you said this, or you've certainly strongly implied it, that it's the joining with the creator. It's like with Ahura, like you're saying, he conquered his selflessness really is moving beyond yourself so that you've got some kind of conscious identity with the universe, with the creator, with all people, so that you love everyone and you want to help people and you're ready to do it with some fire. And there's some guidance that's because you're united with everything, there's going to be wonderful inspiration that should be flowing through you so that you know where how the present should be spent or how next week should be spent to do the greatest good. And anyway, I'm starting to get to it, but I'm not there yet. I don't really. Just anyway, I'm figuring out too, Elijah. I
Yeah.
I see this group that we're in now as a small step in that direction.
I have also read multiple law of attraction books from, do you know Abraham Hicks?
One more time, Hicks. What's the first name?
Abraham Hicks.
Sounds familiar, but I can't place it. Maybe.
Yeah, like they are like it's a woman called Esther Hicks who is receiving inspirations from the angels.
Mhm.
And I think that it is legit because in Oahspe it is said that the angels always appear as a group and not as individuals to humans. And they say that they are a group who are talking through the woman, and what they're saying fits perfectly to what Oahspe is teaching. And the angels revealed that they are talking about getting in the vortex. The angel said, like getting in the vortex.
Well, and this is for the other books,
Yeah,
the Hicks
and
book.
they are independent from Oahspe.
Okay, wow.
And they also like there's a whole book which is talking about getting inside the vortex. And they said that getting inside the vortex, being in that flow state basically, from which you can manipulate the whole universe basically, like from where you can receive any wish, where any wish can come true, it's the easiest thing in the universe. Like they say it's not even a matter of putting much effort, but quite the reverse. They told us that we are actually unconsciously putting effort in preventing it. And we just have to allow it. We have to teach ourselves to allow it. So it is actually a negative effort. Like, I think if I like take that information into account, what the angel said, I would go even a few steps further, and I would say that becoming one with the creator does not only require no effort at all, but furthermore, negative effort, I think. If you know what I mean.
I do. Well, that's amazing. I want, maybe you can email me the book name and author when you get a chance. Yeah, there were an anthropologist who went to Mexico to study with mystic medicine Native Americans. The guy's name was Carlos Castaneda. And one of the teachings of the Native Americans was this thing called not doing and stopping the world. And basically, it describes what you just mentioned, which is you have to get out of the stream of consciousness where you're talking to yourself and trying to do all these things and think about all these things. But really, within you, you can there's a higher reality that you can participate in if you can stop that mindless flow of inner talk and notice things. I don't even notice is the right word, but see the beauty and importance of things that you normally wouldn't. Like maybe it's the leaves on a tree, the shadows they cast. It's like you perceive things in a different way, so that there's like your soul and the world, they're like mirrors facing each other, and you can reflect the beauty back and forth in a way that's kind of unconscious. And you have this kind of faith that you have this power. It's like I think it's sort of like entering, it could be described, I don't know if I can say, but is it entering the vortex where you have entered the higher cosmic consciousness? You lose your you you allow the ever presence of the creator to work through you, instead of saying, I want you to do A, B, and C for me. You're sort of allowing the creator to live through you.
Yeah. I think it is supposed to be the easiest thing in the universe. Yeah. I don't think that it should, like, I don't think that it requires any effort at all. I think.
That's a great point. We make things too hard on ourselves. We judge ourselves and condemn ourselves. Well, you didn't do, or we grasp after things. Oh, if I get this book or if I read this, then somehow I'm on the right path. Or why haven't we started a Faithists community yet? Why don't I have 20 people at this meeting right now? uh, it's because we have to allow, like you said, the creator to work through us. Be more patient and have more faith.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. I think in line with that, I think it's always good to end. Would you mind, shall we do some prayer and blessings to
We can do it, yeah.
Okay. This is for the world, I guess. Uh, ever greater harmony. I don't know where this is coming from, but okay, so 3 times aloud, 3 times silently.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. May the
May
world
the world
be an
be
ever
ever greater
greater universal
harmony,
universal
universal
transcendence.
transcendence.
May the world
May the world
be an ever
be an ever
greater
greater
universal
universal
harmony, universal transcendence.
transcendence.
May the world
May the world
be an ever
be an ever
greater universal harmony,
greater universal harmony,
universal transcendence.
universal transcendence.
And silently too, maybe with some deeper breathing. I was trying to make the affirmation match what we were talking about. Maybe
Yeah.
Please, Elijah, for the world, any affirmation, affirmative blessing?
Yeah. I wish that people would lay aside their problems and like the problems they have with other people, like prejudices, or like, I don't know, that people would tolerate each other, and that I wish that we could all be a family, and that people would, and I also wish, what I really, really wish, which is very recent, is that people would appreciate kindness. I want people to appreciate kindness. And I wish for the world to see kindness as a strength and not a weakness.
Mm.
So maybe a fitting affirmation would be, may the world appreciate kindness as the greatest strength.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. Wonderful. 3, 2, 1.
May the world
appreciate
kindness
kindness
as the greatest strength.
strength.
May the world
appreciate
kindness as the greatest strength. May the world appreciate kindness as the greatest strength.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Group prayers. Anyone or any group you want to pray for? Or off the hand, should I go first or?
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. I'm not sure who to pray for. There's so many people who need prayers probably. Okay. Neighbors. Ooh. Radiant. Cheerfulness. Okay. I still haven't fixed my computer. That letter F is missing. I could fix it, but I forgot to. Anyway, this is going along with what you said, and I'm thinking about all our neighborhoods, not only the ones we're in and I'm in and you're in, but I'm thinking about all neighborhoods around the world. I think it would help the world if we reached out and had more positive interactions with our neighbors. And I don't know how easy that is to do, but it's a message the world should take up. And it could make a good family and a good neighborhood and a good city and so on to a good world. 3, 2, 1. All neighborhoods are radiant with kindness, cheerfulness, and union. All neighborhoods are radiant with kindness, cheerfulness, and union. All neighborhoods are radiant with kindness, cheerfulness, and union. Okay, very good. Any groups you can think of or be inspired about?
Yeah. In a previous meeting, I was praying for the women in the world, that they might find the perfect balance between like pursuing their dreams and also in nurturing the family. Now I would also like to pray for the men in the world, because in the present time, many men, like there's an epidemic, epidemic of lonely men right now worldwide.
Yeah.
And
it's not going too well.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, because like everything has changed.
Yeah.
It's not the same as in the past time.
Yeah.
And I wish for all lonely men in the world that they might find peace but that they may find the strength in the free time to pursue their not only their happiness, but furthermore their calling. That they might use the time wisely where they are lonely in order to reflect on their life and to make better choices maybe, and to become the kind of men they were supposed to be in the first place. So I guess the best affirmation would be, may all lonely men in the world find peace and purpose in their solitude. Yeah.
That's really great, Elijah.
Yeah.
Thank you. 3, 2, 1. May all
all
men
men
in the world find peace and purpose in their solitude. May all men in the world find peace and purpose in their solitude. May all men in the world find peace and purpose in their solitude. That's great. It's a very needed blessing for the world, and very cool. I guess next up, do you have any person you'd like to pray for? It could be anonymously. Maybe somebody's got a medical problem or a spiritual problem or an emotional problem. I'm thinking of one person right now. I'm just going to use the first name. This individual was joined an Oahspe group, but it was really bad one. And it turned, yes. And it was a tyrant kind of thing. And he lived with these people for a number of years. And he was kind of like tortured by the leader, mentally tortured.
Oh, okay.
By the leader. Not physically tortured, although there was.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a cult. It was a cult.
Oahspe cult?
Yeah, there are such places. There was food deprivation where they couldn't eat, or they were denied certain. I don't know the full story, but he came out of it. He ended up not liking Oahspe anymore, or hating it even, hating the people. He kind of went half. He created some. His marriage was. He destroyed his marriage. He destroyed his relationship with his children.
What?
Anyway, I can tell you the full story later, but it's really sad. So I want to pray.
Okay, yeah.
But this happens. Mike's here. Okay, Charles is being healed. Renewed. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Lifted. We're doing prayers. Angels by the angelic heavens. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. This is for a Faithist who was in a cult and was really hard. Now he hates Oahspe, and I'm just praying that he can get some healing. Okay. So you've got mute on now, Mike. You can turn that off. You can speak. I think you got mute on. Anyway, that's it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Charles is being healed
been
renewed,
healed, renewed,
uplifted
uplifted
by the angelic heavens.
by
by
the
the
angelic heaven.
Charles
Charles
is being
is
healed,
being healed,
healed,
renewed,
uplifted by the
uplifted
angelic
uplifted
by
by
the
the
angelic
angelic
heaven.
heavens.
Charles
Charles is
being
being
healed,
Is being
renewed,
healed,
uplifted
renewed,
by
uplifted
the angelic
by
heavens.
the angelic
by the
heaven.
angelic heavens.
Thanks. Silently. Thank you, guys. Any individual prayers?
Mike, do you want to continue or shall I?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me think on it.
Okay. There's a man in my family who has died recently, and he didn't have any knowledge of Oahspe whatsoever. And he had a very hedonistic lifestyle, like a very easygoing lifestyle. And he also had an issue with substances, like not drugs, I hope so, but I don't know, he was misguided. And I really hope that he finds a way to get to the second resurrection where he gets the proper treatment and education in order to rise higher. And I hope that he doesn't linger for too long on earth in the first resurrection, where he might be even more misguided than he was before on earth. So I guess my affirmation would be his name is Anton. Anton find redemption.
We have 1 minute left.
Okay,
Gosh.
to the second
I
resurrection.
apologize, Mike.
No, it's my fault. I was on the phone with someone and it just dawned on me. It was Saturday because I was thinking Sunday and it's
Yeah.
Saturday.
We changed it so Elijah could participate.
Okay.
I really appreciate it, Mike, just showing up, even if it's to the hand. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
3, 2, 1. May
Anton
find redemption.
find redemption for the second resurrection.
Second resurrection.
May
May
Anton
Anton find redemption
Find redemption
for the
in second resurrection.
may
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 Anton
Anton find redemption for
redemption
the second
in
resurrection.
second resurrection.
Thank you a lot for that, Elijah.
Okay.
Prayer Blessing Zoom sessions are held weekly. Please join with us to create light and love blessings for our world. You may have noticed our world could use a lot of good prayers and blessings. Sincerity and good will mean everything in this work. To join a session, email bob@robertbayer3741@yahoo.com. We are all angels of the Creator in the making. For we are a blessing, as love is our power. Prayer Blessing Zoom sessions